Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is time to go back to school. If you guys have been watching, my Orilium Academy journey started, this is my third year, so started 2 years ago, I guess. I did spring in April, was the spring semester, and now it's time for the fall or autumn Equinox semester. I'm going to get out of the way so we can look at the books. So the first thing is the prompts and the syllabus sheets. Let me see if I can put myself right here where maybe I'm not in the way of a lot of stuff. And I'm sure that if you're watching this on your telephone, you cannot read these things. So I'm only going to go over the ones that my people are taking, that my girls are taking. And we are starting with Adrian. So Adrian is doing the Godseer. It's not called a degree. What is it? We're going to get our Godseer something. She's working toward Godseer. That means that there are a few things that we have to get. So I'm going to read the list to you that I have written down here, and then we'll look at them a little bit slower. So she has to get O, or ordinary, in inscription, which means we're doing the art of decipher, and the title has to have all the letters of my first name, Amanda, 3 A's, 1 M, 1 N, and 1 D. Okay, that is what I had to do. So what Adrian is going to do for that is the Andromeda strain. Andromeda has 2 A's and a strain has 1. So there's my 3 A's. Then we have an M and an N and a D. So Andromeda strain. Then I have to do an ordinary in demonology, and the class for that is we're studying the unfamiliars. So I have to pick a person who does not read for fun to pick a book for me. So I got my son to pick a book for me because he reads occasionally. Then she needs qualified for restoration, and that means that there's 2 levels. So first level is night dew, like the dew on the ground. And so I need a night sky on the cover. And then the second one is dangerous plants. So I needed a poisonous plant on the cover or in the title. Then she needs Q level of conjuration. And for O level, we're conjuring bats. And so I needed a bat on the cover. And for Q, we're conjuring laurels, like a laurel wreath. So I needed a book that won an award. And then finally, I need a distinguished level in lore, which means I have to do all 3 levels. So for O, it is Iltyrian history, so I need a vampire book. Then regional interpretations, so I need a translated book. And then Tale of a Desert Creeper, I needed a retelling. So I know I already showed you Andromeda Strain over here, but let's look at the other books. For Conjuration, that was the one that I needed a bat on the cover. So I've got Cage of Souls, which has a bat on the cover, and an award book. And I'm going to read Front Desk, which is a middle grade book that won an award. Then for demonology, I only needed ordinary levels, which was the non-reader recommendation. And my son recommended A Death in the Family, which is a Batman graphic novel. So that's what I'm reading. He owns it. He said, I'll bring it to you when I come to your house this weekend. So for restoration, the first one was The Night Sky on the cover. So I'm reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea by T.J. Klune, and the Poisonous Plant. So I'm reading a book called Nightshade. Nightshade is a poison plant. That's all I know about it. I looked up that book. I had to go search and search and search to find the poisonous plant on the cover books. And then finally, the last one is lore, and we have to do all 3 levels. So we needed a vampire book first. So I'm covering it up. I'm doing book 2 in the Sookie Stackhouse series, Living Dead in Dallas. Then the next one I needed was a translated book. So I'm doing Spy Family, and then a retelling, and I'm doing Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Now, one thing is I've never read the original Pride and Prejudice, so I'm reading that first. Then I'm going to read the retelling. I think I'm going to do a vlog that's just me reading the original Pride and Prejudice and then the zombie retelling. You guys let me know if you want me to do that. And that is everything for Adrian. Adrian has one of the hardest classes that she's doing is the Godseer thing, one of the hardest ones that has the most number of classes, because she has 5 different classes, but we have 9 books to read for that class. Okay, I'm hiding back down here again because we're back at the syllabus, because now we're talking about Emmeline. So Emmeline has always been doing Moon Warden as her focus, and last semester in April I added Rift Architect to it, and I was wondering if I was going to regret it when it came to the fall, and I don't yet, but I might regret it. So we're going to talk about just her Moon Warden first. So for Moon Warden, she needed ordinary levels in elemental studies, and they're going to be studying Gust of Longing. So your favorite scent in your title, cover, or the author's name. Our favorite scent. My favorite scent. Then for spells and incantations, she needed ordinary, and they're going to be studying Charm, Dancing Stars. So I needed to pick a 5-star prediction for that one. Then she needs Q levels in astronomy, and O is the constellation Cradle. So a book released in the month of my birth. So the year doesn't matter, just sometime in June, because that's when I was born. And the Q level is studying the constellation Castle, so a book with a castle on the cover. Then the last class she has is Restoration, and she has to do level Q. So it's just like we had to do for Adrian, where we had the Night Dew, so the night sky on the cover, and Dangerous Plants, so the poisonous plants on the cover. So that's her Moon Warden. Then for Rift Architect, she only has 3 classes, but she has 2 Q levels and 1 D distinguished level. So that's 7 books total. So the first one is a Q in inscription. So the O is Art of Decipher. So again, the title has to have all the letters in my first name, a different book. And then for Q, it is ink pigmentation. So the color wheel got to pick the title color. So the color of the letters written on the title of the book is what that was for. Then I needed level Q in conjuration, which is going to be familiar as well. That's conjuring bats and conjuring laurels. So again, I needed a bat on the cover and a book that has won an award. And then finally, I needed D in spells and incantations. So again, we had Charm, Dancing Stars, which is a 5-star prediction. But then we had level Q, which is learning the spell Memory Clip, and a book shown in any of G's videos. So G said any of my videos, and she said literally if she held up a book in a video, it counts. It doesn't have to be something she read. It could be a book haul. It could be something she was unhauling because she didn't like it. It could be a review. Like, it did not matter. If she held the book up, we could count it. And then finally, D is learning the incantation Carbon Copy. So steal a book from another TBR. So let me tell you what I did for Emmeline. First, we started with the elemental studies. I'm going to move my face over here under Emmeline. I'm kind of not in the way right here. Okay, so for elemental studies, that was the favorite scent. And I like the scent lavender, which I know she was talking about that, but I love vanilla. So I'm going to read Venom and Vanilla. I literally just searched for books that had vanilla in the title, and that's what I found. So I have no idea what this book is about. Hopefully I will like it. Then for spells and incantations, we're only doing ordinary level. And that was a 5-star prediction. Y'all know I went with Dungeon Crawler Carl. This is book number 4 in the series. I'm so excited that I'm reading it. I'm already excited. I haven't even started September. The next one is astronomy, and we had to do Q levels. So O is my birth month release, and I'm going to read Louisiana Longshot by Jenna De Leon. I'm pretty sure that I've already read this book, but it was still on my to-be-read list, and when I read the synopsis of it, parts of it sound familiar because I remember that the woman is like an ex-police officer or FBI agent or something, and she's got all these old ladies in the town that are like checking up on her. But I don't remember enough about it to say, yes, for sure I read this book. So I'm going to read that one. Whether it's a reread or not, I'm going to read it. It came out in June. I don't know what year. I was just checking the months on it. But we also needed a castle on the cover for the Q level, and that is going to be Howl's Moving Castle. This has been on my TBR for a long time. People have talked about it a lot, and it's got a castle on the cover, a moving one at that. Then we have Restoration, which is her last class, and it's only 2 classes. So I needed a bat on the cover, which I went for Devil in the White City. No, not a bat. Sorry, the Night Sky. So I'm reading Devil in the White City. And actually, we have that at the library where I work. So I checked it out today. So this is going to be the first book I read on September 1st. This is my first. And then I had to do Poisonous Plants, and I went with the Foxglove King. I cannot say it because the glove throws me off. So the Foxglove King by Hannah Witten is what I will be reading. And that is all of her Moon Warden. So now let's move to Rift Architect. Her first class is Inscription. She's got to do Q level. So that is all of my letters, the letters of my first name in the title. And we are reading The Utterly Uninteresting... Okay, y'all had to come over here because I literally could not remember the title. The Utterly Uninteresting and Unadventurous Tales of Fred, the Vampire Accountant. That has enough A's and M, N, and D to make my name. Okay, so that is that one. And then I had to use a title color wheel. And I got blue, almost that exact color blue of The Black Echo right there by Michael Connolly. Then the next class is Conjuration, and y'all have seen this, bat on the cover and an award book. So I'm reading The Sanctuary. That's a lot of bats coming off of there. And I'm reading Chains by Laurie Halse Anderson as a National Book Award finalist, it says on the front, but I know it won some other awards as well. And then the last class, Spells and Incantations. So I had to read another 5-star prediction. Can anybody guess what it is? Yes. It's the next Dungeon Crawler Carl. Then I had to read a book shown in any of G's videos. So what I did was I went back to one of her videos that she did where she throws the giant fluffy D20 or whatever dice. And then whenever it lands on, that's what she reads. And I'm reading House of Hollow that she had in one of those early videos in that series. And then finally I had to steal from somebody else's TBR. And I went and watched Pick Pong, Crystal at Bond Book Reviews playing Pick Pong for one of hers. She plays it. It's like beer pong with, but that's what she uses to choose her stuff. So I got Funny Story from there. So that is what I'm reading for Emmeline. So these, with my head covering up Howl's Moving Castle, let me just get off of here. These are all the books that I am reading in the month of September. And this might be it. Like I might just really shoot for only these books. I mean, I know that's not going to happen, but it'll be close to happening. You guys let me know if you've read any of these, what you think about these, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.